10-year-old girl missing now for more than 12 hours. A massive
search for a missing 9-year-old girl in upstate New York. An Amber Alert was
to the urgent search underway in South Carolina for a 28-year-old Broadway dancer and the desperate appeals from his
waiting for help from the public to find their family member who's been missing since Friday.
More than 600,000 people are reported missing in the United States every year. That doesn't even include other countries or people who go missing that are unreported to authorities. To put that in perspective for you, that's just above the population of Baltimore in 2023 and just below the population of Detroit in 2023. Still can't picture it? Yeah. The idea of disappearing and no one able to find you is terrifying. I can't even imagine it. For these people, however, this nightmare became a reality. On the night of October 12th, 2018, 16-year-old Carly Guza told her father and stepmother that she would be attending a football game at her high school in Bishop, California. Not sure about you, but when I was around that age, I was sneaking a drink and even smoking with some friends. And that was exactly the case for Carly that night. She ended up going to a party, smoking and having fun with friends, when she supposedly had a bad reaction to some weed. For her friends, this wasn't new, as Carly had previously had a few bad reactions to weed, and that she had become paranoid, believing she was being tracked through her phone. At the party, she began feeling paranoid again, which is when she called her stepmother to pick her up. However, she had already run off, and her stepmother Melissa ended up finding her a mile away from the party. After Carly got in the car, she continued to act strangely, so Melissa brought her home to hopefully calm her down. According to Melissa, she sat in Carly's bedroom with her before accidentally falling asleep. When she woke up around 7 a.m. the next morning, Carly was gone. Ever since that night, Carly Guza hasn't been found dead or alive. After Carly's parents searched for her for 2 hours, they called her birth mother and the authorities to continue the search. Eyewitnesses who knew Carly stated she was seen walking down a road that would eventually take her to Highway 6. Police dogs picked up the scent, and sure enough, they tracked her scent right up until Highway 6. Because of this, police ruled out any foul play from at least Carly's father and stepmother. However, Carly's birth mother, Lindsay, did go on Dr. Phil, claiming that Carly died of an overdose and her father and stepmother covered it up. But her claims seem very unlikely, based on the police dogs picking up her scent, the eyewitnesses, and a polygraph test which both Carly's father and stepmother passed. The only other evidence we have about Carly, which was in 2023, is that someone matching her description was seen about 100 miles from her home in the small town of Tonopah. Authorities even located a vehicle that may have taken Carly from Highway 6 to Tonopah, but unfortunately, no other evidence has come out. Adam, Trevor, and Mitchell O'Brien are brothers from Torbay, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, who lived with their mother, Diana Boland. On November 9th, 1996, the brothers went to visit their father and non-custodial parent, Gary O'Brien. It was like any other visit. However, at 8:30 p.m. that same night, Diana received a phone call from Gary. Gary told Diana that he was not going to return with the 3 boys, and that he had rigged his house with explosives so that it would explode if anyone tried to enter it. Panic set in, and Diana asked to speak with the boys, to which Gary simply responded with "later" and hung up. Diana's sister, who was with her at the time of the call, immediately called the police. When the police arrived at Gary's house, they discovered that he had set up a makeshift bomb using 2 400-pound propane tanks that would have exploded, not only destroying Gary's house, but the surrounding houses as well. Gary had a history of violent behavior and psychiatric problems, and was described as introverted and resourceful by Diana. Almost a year after the disappearance, in October of 1997, an engine assembly for a 1989 Ford Tempo, which may have been Gary's vehicle, was found in the ocean near Flat Rock, around 6 miles from where the boys disappeared. However, no bodies were recovered from that location. The following year, the police received an anonymous tip from a woman claiming to recognize the 3 brothers. She stated that she used to babysit them and even knew a nickname for one of the boys. Police attempted to relocate the woman until 1999, but were unsuccessful in their search. Although Gary O'Brien's sister believes her brother and her 3 nephews unfortunately passed away, Diana firmly believes that they are alive and still out there. She believes that Gary may have taken them to a religious commune and reared them in an environment with no access to technology or the outside world. She believes that being cut off from the rest of the world allowed Gary to brainwash the 3 brothers, which is why they haven't tried contacting her. As of 2023, this case remains open. Teddy Wang was born on September 9, 1933, and was the son of paint and chemical business proprietor Wang Dinshin. Although there is little information of his early life, he was a childhood playmate and friend of Kung and Sam, also known as Nina Wang. In 1948, they reconnected and eventually got married in 1955. The Wangs then decided to move to Hong Kong and grow their business, which they did. Their pharmaceutical company grew to be the territory's largest and most powerful companies. On April 12, 1983, Teddy Wang was suddenly abducted when his Mercedes-Benz was hijacked. He was taken away by his abductors and chained to a bed for 8 days straight. His abductors demanded the Wangs a ransom of 33 million Hong Kong dollars, in which his wife, Nina Wang, did eventually pay. Interestingly enough, Teddy Wang was kidnapped again on April 10th of 1990 as he left the Jockey Club in Hong Kong. This time, his abductors demanded a whopping 60 million Hong Kong dollars. Unfortunately, Nina Wang gave an installment of 34 million, so Teddy Wang was never returned. Eventually, several of his alleged kidnappers were caught, and they stated that the 68-year-old Wang had been thrown into the sea from a small boat on the 13th of April, only 3 days after his kidnapping. His body, however, was never found, and Teddy Wang was pronounced legally dead in 1999. Strangely, even though he was legally dead and his abductors stated they threw him into the ocean, Nina Wang's personal assistant claimed that she had received calls from Teddy up to the year 2000. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see me cover a specific missing person case, or any specific case at all, feel free to comment down below. I'm hoping to make a video series out of this, so keep an eye out. Thank you again, and I hope to see you again real soon.